Ms. Bouman, you've dragged your daughter, Kalina, to court to save your relationship. You admit after years of deception and confusion, you now must prove to her that her actual biological father is Mr. James Stewart, who passed away 18 years ago. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Kalina Bouman, you say your mother's paternity lies have jeopardized your relationship, and you don't believe her latest claim that Mr. Stewart is your father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Stewart, you say there's no way that your deceased father is Ms. Bowman's biological father and want to clear his name in court today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Bouman,
Yes, Your
why are these results so important for you today?
Over the years, I have lied to my daughter, and for the past 4 years, it's become very hard on our relationship. I used to be real close to her, and now it feels like I've literally tore it completely apart. And I need to prove to her that her father is James Stewart and is deceased.
You say over the years you've lied to her.
I've told her that Mr. Watson was her father.
Explain.
It all started when she was little. When I first met Mr. Stewart, I met him at a company that I worked with, and we started working, became friends and everything, real close. We became sexual. It got to where I found out there was somebody else. I decided to break apart from him and move to another job. I needed to get away from him. So I started talking to Mr. Watson. Then I found out after being with him for a while that I was pregnant. And I told Mr. Watson that there was a possibility that it wasn't. And at the time, it didn't matter to him. At first, it was like, oh, okay, whatever. You know, yeah, it's not mine. Yeah, it is mine. And it kind of ran like that.
Ms. Bouman?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're having a difficult time having a relationship with your mother?
Yes.
Explain to me the nature of that relationship.
It's been hard because the simple fact, I don't know when she's lying or telling the truth anymore when it comes to my
And
life.
so she told you another man was your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you believed all these years Mr. Watson was your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So when did you find out that he was not?
I found out during the summer going into high school that he was not my father. Wow. I was forced to be taken out of my mother's house and go to his house where I had no contact with my mother. And then when I finally was able to go back around to my mother, she told me that he might not be my father and that James Stewart might be my father.
Take me back to that day. What happened?
That day, I was taken from my mother's house by Mr. Watson and was not able to contact her for 2 months or get on social media or anything to have contact with her, my boyfriend.
Really?
And then when I was able to go back around that day, she was like, oh, he might not be your father, and it's a possibility that James Stewart is your father, and we're gonna go downtown to take the court. And I was confused because all these years you told me that Mr. Watson was my father. And then when we went to go take the test, when the test results finally came back after 2 weeks, I was nervous and didn't know what to think. And I read the results, even though she told me not to. And when I read them, it said that Mr. Watson wasn't my father. And I broke down. And I was just hurt. Why she lied to me for 16 years. And I didn't know what to do. So I stopped talking to her for a month and a half.
So, Ms. Bouman, take me back to that day. Your daughter was crushed. I mean, she says it just broke her.
At the time, Kalina had just came over to my house. She had just moved in with me. And I happened to go to work one day, and Mr. Watson had recently got married. And his wife, she told him, that's your child, you go get him. So he literally walked up in my house, and yes, he did come in there and take her. I wasn't there. He told me, well, since you want to sit up here and say this ain't my daughter, prove it. I turned around and I went downtown and I requested a paternity test. The results came back, and I sat there and I told her, I said, you know, I didn't do this to hurt you.
And so is it your assertion that you knew all of the time there was a question, or you knew for certain Mr. Watson wasn't?
I didn't know for sure, but when I sat there and started calculating back the time of when I was messing with Mr. Stewart, it was always connecting back to Mr. Stewart.
I just can't trust her because she lied.
So what you're saying is you don't even believe this assertion is based upon any real evidence or fact. You think she's just naming someone else?
Yes, Your Honor. It's still the simple fact that she lied for so many years. So who knows if there's another man or if it's just them two.
Your whole foundation has just been rocked.
Yes.
You don't know what to believe.
Pretty much.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Mr. Stewart?
Yes, Your Honor.
When you heard about Ms. Bouman, did you believe that you all shared a biological father?
No, Your Honor.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
Explain.
My father has had numerous of women say that their children was his, and this came to find out that it wasn't true. And just this right here.
What is this, sir?
Timeline.
Walk me through it.
Back when I was 8, he was working at the sub shop with her.
Okay.
And I remember him working there because I distinctly remember getting my ears pierced at 8 years old.
And that was in 1993.
93. And I remember him around in the middle of 93, close to 94, leaving the sub shop and not working there.
And he doesn't work there anymore as of around 1994.
Close to 94, yeah.
And in 1995 is when Ms. Bouman, mom, would have been pregnant with Ms. Bouman.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Bouman,
Yes.
you claimed in your testimony that you were working with Mr. Stewart's father at this place when Kalina was conceived. Am I correct?
Yes.
So your assertion, Mr. Stewart, is that doesn't add up.
Doesn't add up to me. It really doesn't.
Because your father quit this job in 1994.
Yeah.
That's actually
Early
a lie
94.
because he actually stopped working at that restaurant in February of 95. He would come in, do his shift or whatever. Then there was times that he wouldn't come in because he was a manager. He had me, I was right up under him as the assistant manager.
Ms. Bouman, I see you brought a witness. I'd like to hear from her. Ma'am, would you please stand and step to the podium, please?
Give me a minute.
Okay. Please state your name for the record, ma'am.
I'm Lillian Jane Watson.
Thank you for joining us today. You are Mr. Watson's mother. Did you ever have doubts that your son was Kalina's father?
No.
Never. Explain.
Well, her mother left a letter saying that my son was the father. She had other 3 kids, so I told her she didn't have to worry about my granddaughter. I'll do everything that's possible for her, and I did. Kay has been living with me most of her entire life.
Really?
When she would go to her mother, she'd stay. I'd pick her up every weekend. If there's a grandmother that deserves a award, it should be me, but I don't want the award. I'm here because I love her. She's my baby. She put a letter in my mailbox with a piece of paper saying that James Stewart was not her father.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me see that evidence.
I got a long letter about how my son, Kalina, her feet, his heels, and her blood.
You're
her
saying
eyes.
that Ms. Bouman put a letter in your mailbox.
Yes, ma'am. And Kay was born in January. She gave me the letter in February.
This is a letter from February 27th, 1996. It reads, Ms. Bouman, your results of the paternity test performed on 1/11/96 on Kalina Bouman and Mr. James Stewart shows that Mr. Stewart is not the biological father of your child, Kalina, born on 1/6/96. Did you put this letter in Ms. Watson's mailbox, Ms. Bouman?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
And the letter,
And I
too.
did it because at the time, Mr. Watson, when I got back in a relationship with him, we sat there, we talked and everything. It was all discussed out.
But wait, what do you mean it was discussed?
It was discussed that Kalina was his daughter.
So you just created this. This letter is just a lie.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait a minute.
Saying that.
That's not.
She's saying in court today, ma'am, Miss Watson, that this is not an official letter. This is something that she just wrote and typed up.
I've never had a test done with James Stewart.
My God, my God. You know you have bestest kids. Jesus.
That's why I say I don't believe it. Because he's had 3 other women that done did this.
And Ernest is always gonna be your dad. He hurting just like you are. You can't talk around it. He gets very emotional and stacked. He loves you. It's not a day we don't talk about you.
So, Miss Bouman, you know, I have to come back to you because you've basically just admitted in court today that this was fabricated, this letter that you basically typed up and put in this woman's mailbox. Why?
I did it because I was actually in love with Mr. Watson. And it was, I wanted a child, this is my child. And I lost contact with Mr. Stewart, so I left it alone.
The truth is, you wanted to be with Mr. Watson.
Yeah.
You loved him. So you wanted him to think that Kalina was his child so that you could hold on to him.
Yes.
You cannot use a child to keep a man. It doesn't work. It never works. And sure enough, as it has happened over and over again, Mr. Watson moves on. Ms. Bouman, did Mr. Stewart ever know of Kalina? Did you
Actually,
talk to him about
I ran into Mr. Stewart back in '98 at a convenience store right up the street from where I lived. And it kind of shocked me. I was surprised to see him. And he was like, well, I heard you had a little girl, 2 years. She's 2 years old. I said, yes, I do. At the time, Kalina was with me. So he was like, do you mind if I see her? I said, sure. I took him down to my house because I stayed right down the street from the store. He sat there and he looked at it and he was like, wow. Okay. He said, I'm getting ready to go home and make some phone calls. I said, phone calls for what? Oh, I'm about to set up a paternity, I want a paternity test. I want a DNA test. You ain't got to worry about nothing. I'll pay for the whole entire thing because if that's my daughter, everybody's going to know about her. He went home, he made the appointments, he called me. He said, this is the day we're going to go do it. The day came that we were supposed to go and do it, and I got a phone call from one of his friends. And they said, Angie, I got some bad news. I was like, what? He said, Pookie's not coming. I was like, what you mean? Pookie's killed. He was murdered. After that, everything just dropped. I left it alone.
So you're saying the very day that you all planned to go and get the DNA test,
he was murdered.
My
He was
God.
murdered.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Because I lived with my daddy that year. I was 13 years old. I was 13. My father told me everything. I ain't had a sibling for 28 years. 29 years. My baby brother got killed when he was 2. I didn't have no sibling. So I would have wanted a sibling all my life. My father would have told me that.
He didn't want to bring her out until the test was completely
He wouldn't
done.
hide the hell nothing from me. My father told me everything. That's why I can't believe it, because there's so many women that done did this and then said that their kids was mine, and I had to grow up without a sibling. That hurts.
you don't believe the fact that Ms. Bouman's saying that he just didn't want to say anything to anybody until he knew for sure.
I don't believe that, Your Honor.
And you don't even believe the test was scheduled.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. My father would have told me everything.
All right. I've heard enough testimony. It's time for the results. Jerome? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Because there wasn't a blood card available to test the DNA of the deceased, James Stewart, we performed a sibling test in order to determine if the deceased son, James Stewart, is related to Kalina Bouman. In the case of Bouman versus Bouman, it has been determined by this court that James Stewart and Kalina Bouman are related.
It's over now, baby. It's over. It's over. Oh, man.
And since that's my granddaughter, you her brother, then you can be my son too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Feel free to stand with your grandchildren.
Because I don't have a grandparent at all.
Oh, well, honey, you...
At all. All my grandparents are gone.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
Angie, get over here. I love you all. I can't hate nobody, Lord.
Finally telling the truth.
Oh,
Don't lie again.
Miss Bouman, what would you like to say to your daughter?
I'm sorry that I did this and put you through this. And I hope that you can forgive me and we can start rebuilding our friendship back. Because I miss my baby.
Mr. Tillman, you claim your biological daughter, Annetta Tillman, disappeared out of your life 30 years ago, and you haven't seen her since.
Yeah.
Now, paternity doubts have led to your petition for a DNA test to prove you are her father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, you are the reason for those paternity doubts. You also had a sexual relationship with Miss Tillman's mother at the time of conception and hope today's DNA results prove you are the biological father because you raised her. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Tillman, what was the nature of your relationship with Miss Tillman's mother? Was it
It
committed?
started out more like friendship, more so than a committed relationship. But as time grew on and I discovered that she was dealing with other people than myself, so that's when I kind of strayed away.
So you discovered she was also in a relationship with Mr. Johnson?
I didn't necessarily know that they were in a relationship, but I knew that she was dealing with somebody else other than myself.
So, Mr. Johnson, you were also in a relationship with the same woman?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
When I met her, she wasn't working, and I was working at a bakery, and so I got her a job there. She didn't have a way to get to work. I drove her to work, and then took her back home and stuff. And I only met Mr. Tillman briefly, one time. It was at a rooming house.
I lived at the rooming house.
Well, when I met her, she was at your house then.
Well, well, okay.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, you were having an intimate relationship as well, not just picking her up and dropping her off from work.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you know about Mr. Tillman?
No, I only met him that one time, dropping her off home from work.
Do you remember this encounter?
He seen me more than once. Because he's the one that came and told me when CC was in the hospital having Netta. Remember that?
So let me get to the pregnancy. What did Miss Tillman's mother tell you about
She came
the
to my
pregnancy?
apartment one morning after we had been separated, I guess about maybe for almost 5 months. When she showed up at my door, she was pregnant, I in a joking way asked her, what happened to her. And so she told me she was pregnant, it was mine.
Did she also tell you, Mr. Johnson?
All she told me she was pregnant, and I asked her, was it from that guy? And she said, yeah, I believe so. And
So
then
she told you the baby was not yours?
Yeah.
And she told you it was the guy, and the guy is Mr. Tillman?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Yes,
and so
Your
Mr. Tillman, did you believe the child was yours when she told you?
Not at first, Your Honor. I didn't believe it till I went out to the hospital and actually saw her laying up there in the hospital bed. And from that point on, I was in her life till they sent my daughter away.
They sent her away.
I guess you and CC. Y'all had to send her away because, you know what?
It's like Yester told me that you had sex with her that morning, around about 12 o'clock. With Cece. And
That's Miss Tillman, mother.
Yes, that's her
Okay.
mother. And so she told me she had sex with you that around about 12 o'clock. And I had stopped by there around about 3-something, and me and her had sex.
I don't remember.
So wait a minute, Mr. Johnson, let me make sure I understand your testimony. You're saying that Miss Tillman's mother told you she had a sexual encounter with Mr. Tillman earlier
that day.
And then you came by, and then you also had a sexual encounter.
Yeah, but
so
she
basically,
didn't
she admitted to you she slept with you and Mr. Tillman On the same day. And
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
what made you believe that.
It could be my daughter.
And so you submitted a calendar to the court
Yes.
that outlines this.
Yes.
So around February
Yeah.
1983,
Yeah.
you state that Ms. Tillman's mother told you she slept with Mr. Tillman first,
Yes.
and then when you came by around 3, she slept with you as well.
Yes.
And immediately you realized, well, if that was around the time Ms. Tillman was conceived, then I could also be her biological father.
Yes.
Who came for the birth?
I picked up Miss Tillman's mother and the baby.
And the baby. You picked him up from the hospital.
Yes.
But you came up to the hospital, Mr.
Right.
Tillman.
After he came and told me CC was in the hospital having.
I don't remember telling you.
Well,
If you brought her home from the hospital, who was in her life after that? Did you have a relationship with her?
Yeah, because far as I knew, he was gone.
And so, Mr. Tillman, did you have a relationship? Did you get to
yes,
see
I
the baby?
did, Your Honor.
You
I used
did.
to come and get my daughter and take her with me on the weekends and
Take her-
anything she,
when
and
did you
anything
come
she
and get her?
needed, I did.
Where did you
for
come and get her
Y'all
from?
just took my daughter.
Where did you come and get her from?
just from CC's house.
Huh?
From
Sent away where?
to Georgia, to her dad's house. CC came and told
Man,
me
that was when she.
after she was born. Yes.
All right,
she didn't go,
gentlemen,
she did not go to
gentlemen.
Georgia after she was born.
Let's get some order. I realize that we are discussing Ms. Tillman, but I think it would be better if we hear from her. Jerome, would you please escort Ms. Tillman into the courtroom, please? Hello, Ms. Tillman. Thank you for being here. Stand over at the podium. Both of these men say that there is possibility that they are your biological father. Who do you think your biological father is?
Honestly, George, I have no idea. My whole life, I've had Mr. Tillman's last name, but this is a gentleman I've never met before.
You have never, in your recollection, met Mr. Tillman before?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Because he just testified in court that he came to the hospital to see you when you were a baby, used to pick you up when you were a little girl and take you with him to spend weekends because he believed he was your father.
Well, the only person I've ever had come pick me up and take me out on the weekends was Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson has always been there for me. So I'm really confused. I don't know. And
Baby, after your mother and him sent you to Georgia, I lost contact with you.
But you know my name. You know my
I came back several
birthday?
times trying to find you.
But what happened?
And I don't
How
know.
could you not find me?
I couldn't
And
find
then
you. Everybody
my whole-
disappeared.
And then Mr. Johnson, it's a
Mr.
possibility
Johnny and your
that
mother was full of crap.
he
right?
was
Full of crap.
Yeah.
You said that you used to pick her up.
Yes.
When she was little and
Yes.
take her. From
Yes.
where?
I'm the
You
one
couldn't
who
have.
gave her first birthday party.
You couldn't have. She didn't go to Georgia.
I don't know
after
where
her.
I don't know where y'all sent her.
couldn't-
at.
3
I know
years
y'all
old.
sent her somewhere.
They sent me to Georgia when I was about 3 years old.
So you
Hello,
did,
I
okay,
recommend-
okay. So
Last time I saw
now,
her.
what Mr. Tillman is testifying to is in fact true. You were
Okay.
sent to Georgia to live.
I was sent to Georgia to live.
When you were growing up, you said Mr. Johnson was always there for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So-
Who did you think Mr. Johnson was exactly?
Johnny was my mother's friend, and to me, I grew up knowing him as my godfather. Like, he's always been my father figure in my life. I've never known this man over here. Johnny has always been there for me.
So they said it was your godfather.
Yes, ma'am. I didn't know that him and my mom and all of them had whatever they had going on the same time. Like, I had no idea about this.
You never knew any of this?
No, ma'am. I feel like I've been misled, I've been lied to, I've been cheated out of so much.
And I have
I'll be
too,
32
baby.
years old.
And I have
And
too.
I've never, all I have is a name on a piece of paper. That's all
And
I have.
how did you get that name? Let's talk about that.
That's how did I get my name?
I signed for you at the hospital after you were born.
This is my birth
I have the original
certificate,
birth certificate.
and it doesn't have
Let
a
me
name
see
on it.
that. Jerome, Jerome, hand me that.
Why you left?
CC got mad at me because she found out I was going to New York to get married, and that's why I think you and her sent my daughter away out of my life. It's not my fault.
What do you mean it's not
It's
your
not
fault?
my
You
fault.
know my name, you know my birthday, you know everything. There's internet. I look for you. I searched for you. I searched for you.
Mr. Tillman, you handed me a piece of evidence. I want you to describe this for me. This is
Her
a birth certificate. It is Annetta Tillman's birth certificate.
Right. The one with the raised seal, her original birth certificate.
And listed as mother, Sister Ruth Williams.
Right.
And then as father, it's blank.
It's blank. It's big
Well,
blank.
I got
so
your
how
birth
did you
certificate from the
sign?
hospital. I'm telling
Well, how
you.
did you sign my birth certificate and there's no name on there?
At the hospital, the nurse gave me your birth certificate at the hospital. I was out there for you.
Mr. Tillman, you said you came up there.
Yes,
And
I
you
came
just
to the hospital
testified a moment
after
ago.
she was born.
And you just testified a moment ago that you signed
Your
it.
name should be on it.
It should be on there. How did
How did I end up with the original birth certificate?
I don't know. You
I
can go.
don't
You
know.
can go. You can go anywhere.
how did I
and get a
end
birth
up with the
certificate.
last name of a man that I've never
Mr.
met?
Tillman, I want to understand this.
Yes, sir.
You said you remember signing it, putting your name
I
on
remember
it.
being at the hospital. I remember, and when I left there, I ended up with the birth certificate. Now, how I end up with it, I can't. It's so much. No, the
very-
reason I wasn't in your life, baby, because they sent you away.
I don't care about what they did.
Well,
you are a
I
grown man.
can't-
You have your own. You
That's right.
have did it. You shouldn't have stopped. You knew I was out there. Did you not know I was out there? You
Yes, I knew you was out there, and I tried my best to find you.
Your best.
I'm not one of those computer wizards. I'm old school, baby.
But I
ain't
mean,
gotta
this-
be
you
confused.
don't have to be.
I don't
There's-
even have an email address.
It
I
doesn't
don't
matter.
say that. Well, now I do.
There's somebody.
So,
somebody
Mr.
could've went
Tillman-
on there.
Hold on a minute. What
Mr.
you said-
Tillman,
John, I don't feel like talking to you.
Mr.
said-
Tillman,
listen.
hold on,
Yes,
You
hold
ain't gotta
on.
talk. All you gotta do is listen.
I don't want to listen at you.
No, you said that you
Gentlemen,
used to come to her house.
gentlemen. Ultimately, we know that this young woman grew up without knowing who her biological father is, and we're trying to get down to the bottom of this. Mr. Tillman, you brought a witness. I'd like to hear from her, please. Please stand, ma'am. State your name for the court, ma'am.
Melissa,
And you are?
I'm his girlfriend.
You're his girlfriend?
Yes.
And what do you know about this, ma'am?
I remember one day just sitting there. He brings out her birth certificate. Said, I ain't seen her in all these years. This man's almost come to tears because he hasn't seen her in over 30 years. They've taken her from him.
What I'm saying, what I don't get, you saying that you didn't know where she was.
I didn't.
But yet you said that you came and you took her
But
place.
when I came back to Orlando 5 years later, after I came back, everybody had to move. I had no idea where anybody was at.
Ultimately, what I want to understand now, Ms. Tillman, as you stand there, what are your hopes for today?
I want to know. I want to know where he's been. I want to know why he wasn't there. He missed out on so much. And you can tell me that you searched, and you can tell me that you searched, but you didn't find me. You didn't find me, so you did not search hard enough. I want to have closure. I want to know who I am. There's so much to
You're
me
my
that's
child.
missing. It's a whole nother side of me missing that I don't have.
You think I haven't been missing things? You think the years that it took you growing up, you think I
Listen,
didn't?
if you go to
So?
Google and just put in Annetta Tillman, it pops up. It'll even bring you to my address for years now, so I don't understand. You can't tell me. You probably have more children. I probably have brothers and
Mr.
sisters where
Tillman,
they could have looked.
What are your hopes?
Do they even
I
know?
mean,
I was just glad to find that she was still alive, because I didn't know whether she was alive or she was dead. And then
that's
look
all
how
your
she
hope?
feels toward me.
That's
It's
all
like
your
it was my fault.
So,
You know
so
what?
Mr.
If
Tillman,
I was you, John, I would just quit. I would just
you
stop.
don't know
You know what
me.
I'm saying?
You don't know
Mr.
me.
don't know me
Tillman,
very well either.
Mr. Tillman,
we don't
address,
know each other
Mr.
well.
Tillman, just
Gentlemen,
address me.
Listen to the judge.
All right, John. I'm sorry, y'all.
What are your hopes today? What are you hoping?
Now that I know where she's at, I always want to be a part of her life. I don't intend to lose her again. But, to me, it was stupid in the first place why I had lost contact with her. They knew better than that.
All right.
They knew better.
You could have.
Baby, you keep faulting me. You better.
I can't really know. There's no explanation.
All right, baby, I'm
There's
sorry.
no reason.
It's just-
There's
what
nothing.
am I
My
supposed
mother
to
is
tell you?
dead and
Ladies,
gone. There's no reason why I
Ladies,
can't fault
gentlemen, we can keep arguing about this. Ms. Tillman, I realize how hurt you are. I do. Mr. Johnson, what are your hopes today?
My hopes today is that I am her father.
Okay.
you. I'm sorry.
But I think it's time to get the results. Are we ready? Well, these results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Tillman versus Johnson, when it comes to 31-year-old Annetta Tillman, It has been determined by this court, Mr. Johnson, you are not her father.
Oh, man.
The next result, please, Jerome. As it relates to Mr. Tillman, in the case of Tillman versus Johnson, when it comes to 31-year-old Annetta Tillman, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Tillman, you are her father.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Come on. It's all right.
Little baby, I'm sorry, but it was not my fault. No matter how much you're trying to blame me, they took you away from me.
Nobody took her away from
Yes,
you.
you did.
You away.
You did. Y'all did. Y'all just
They
sent my
didn't
baby
give you
away.
nobody an opportunity to contact you. They took you away, so he couldn't. They took you away.
Mr. Johnson, you are here to prove you are not the biological father of Miss Kirby's 11-month-old son, Caden. You claim her accusations are causing trouble in your relationship, and you are certain the results will clear your name. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Kirby, you are positive your son was conceived during your sexual relationship with Mr. Johnson, and you say your son struggled with health issues and you need Mr. Johnson to step up and be a father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Johnson, you claim Miss Kirby is causing issues in your life. Explain.
Yes, Your Honor. She's trying to pin a child on me that ain't mine. And she's causing problems in my current relationship.
How am I causing issues in your current relationship when you just called to me yesterday? So what are you talking about, sir?
I'm not trying to keep up with you. I just wanted to know, is this really happening?
So you think she's trying to pin a baby on you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you have doubts?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Kirby, I have to ask you, are you trying to pin this baby on Mr. Johnson?
No, I'm trying to get my baby situated. He has health issues. I'm trying to see where it's coming from because it is not on my side of the family.
So I see you're emotional already. What are you feeling right now? How does it feel to know the man you are saying is the father of your child is not acknowledging your child?
We planned this baby. He told me when we first met that I was going to be his baby mama. Now that he's here, he don't want to step up. Either he step up or he step down.
Excuse me,
And why do you
Your
have
Honor.
tears in your eyes?
My baby.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Yes, I told her that she was gonna be my baby mama, but it was just talk. It was nothing like that. We only had sex. That was it. Nothing more. And plus, she's trying to pin this baby on me because she need help now. And then
I don't
she
need your
wanna-
help. My baby's well taken care of. He's
Well-
been taken care of for almost a year now.
Well, why you threatening me with child support?
Because I know you ain't going to do nothing.
All right, let me ask you this. Mr. Johnson, did you grow up with a father in your life?
No, Your Honor. I was premature. I was in the hospital for 6 months. And while I was
Now
in the
my
hospital...
baby have issues. He have health issues.
While I was in the hospital, Your Honor, my father abandoned me.
Now you
and
abandoned
my
Kaden.
mother. I would never do a child like that I know that's mine, and this baby is not mine.
And so you're saying you know what it feels like to be abandoned.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you would never do that to another child.
Yes, Your Honor. I would never do that because I made bad
why
decisions.
you not taking care of Kaden?
Because
Clearly
it's
you
not
are.
mine. It ain't my baby. That baby don't look nothing like me.
I'm like, he like. So what's your point?
Your Honor, I just had a
Yes.
child, and the baby looks nothing like Caden. My baby looks like me.
So you are convinced that Caden is not your biological child?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. How did you two meet?
Well, Your Honor, we was working at this job, and then we had a blackout. And during the blackout, we decided to go to the store. So we in my car, driving to the store. Charmaine started talking sexual.
Why would I talk sexual to you when
Because-
I'm dealing with someone?
Wait, what was she saying? I think I want to know.
Well,
Jerome said, I want to know. Oh, my goodness. Okay, what did she say? Keep it PG, please.
all right. Well, Your Honor, she was just saying that how she'll do when she in the bed with a man. That's what she was talking about.
Oh.
That don't mean I was trying to lay down with you.
Yes, you were. So why did we exchange numbers? And then
Because
the
I liked
next
you
day
when I
we
first
had
met
Miss
sex.
Kirby, you just get in the car, riding to the store, and just talking about what you gonna do in the bed? That's your
No, Your
conversation?
Honor. No, Your Honor.
That don't even sound like conversation riding to the store. That sounds like
Exactly.
conversation when you're trying to get with somebody.
And that's what we did, Your Honor. We exchanged numbers. Then the next day, boom, we having sex. It was just a sexual relationship. That's it.
So boom, you said.
Yeah.
And you just started having sex.
Yes, Your Honor.
How long did the sexual relationship last?
Well, it lasted for months. And during the time, she already told me, Your Honor, that she was having sex with another guy.
A month before you and a month after you, sir.
During the time we were having sex, she had already told me this.
So when you met and look, you in the car talking about what you're gonna do to a man, that's gonna obviously lead to someone thinking, what man? What man are you doing this with? So you're saying she told you, I'm also having a sexual relationship with somebody else.
Yes, Your Honor.
What did she say?
She was like, well, I'm single, but I'm having sex with this dude also. And plus, he was staying the night at her apartment.
So is that true, Miss Kirby? Were you having a guy spend the night over during the time that you started having?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Because he knew from the jump that I was dealing with someone. I was dealing with someone at the time when me and him met. I told him up front.
You just said it was a month. It's been a month. But now you was dealing with somebody.
But wait, from you talking about what you're gonna do to a man in bed to the point when you all are actually in the bed together, that's just less than 24 hours. And now you admit you were also having a sexual relationship with another man. So, seems pretty obvious how we got here. Can you tell the court how you found out Miss Kirby was pregnant?
Yes, Your Honor. I was at this party, and I was scrolling on social media, and I seen her post something about she don't need help with her child. So I hit her up. I was like, are you pregnant? She was like, yeah. So I'm like, is the baby mine? She was like, no. So I left the party and went to her house. And then she flipped the script and was saying, well, yes, you are the father.
So wait a minute, you see the post and you're curious.
Right.
So you ask her, is she pregnant? She says yes, but she says, no, you're not the father.
Because
Yes,
I didn't
Your
want
Honor.
to deal with him at the time.
So why'd you go to her house after that?
Because I wanted to be clear, am I the father of this baby?
Oh, you were taking it one step further because as you stated in your earlier testimony, you're not gonna play around if you think a child is your child.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so you went to her house.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so you get to her house and what happens? How does the script flip?
I don't know. I guess she sees that I'm going to be around, that I'm going to help her take care of this child. She wanted
How
me
you
to
gonna
be
be
in this
around?
child's
You haven't
life.
done nothing from Caden since he been here.
Yes, because you were saying it
Of
wasn't
course
mine.
I told you he wasn't yours, cause you wasn't gonna do nothing and I didn't want to deal with you.
All right then, so
Simple
why
as
would I
that.
do something if you saying it ain't mine?
So, Miss Kirby, did you tell this other guy you were with you were pregnant?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
And so why are you threatening Mr. Johnson with child support and
Because I did the calculations. We had sex July 10th, and that's around the time that I conceived Caden.
so you looked at the conception window
Yes, ma'am.
and you determined that was during the time when you were sexually active with Mr. Johnson?
Yes, Your Honor.
But I thought you slept with him within a 24-hour window of meeting him, and you also were in a sexual relationship with the other man.
Me and him had sex July 10th on our way when we got back from Clarksville.
Oh, so you're basing this on the exact date of
Yes,
sex?
yes, Your Honor.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Be mindful that we're talking about 2 different guys. She was having sex with another guy before this guy that she said that's her supposed to be baby father.
So you are actually 1 out of 3 potential fathers.
Your Honor.
It was protected. It was protected, Your Honor.
Well, we've learned in here, no protection is 100%. All right, so during the pregnancy, who stepped up for you? Who was there for you? Was Mr. Johnson there?
No, Your Honor. My family was.
Was he there for the birth?
No, Your Honor.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I wasn't there because she didn't want me to be there. The only time she called me was for sex and food.
You a lie.
That's the only time, Your Honor.
You wouldn't even buy a $5 box of chicken from churches.
I was taking you to Burger King and going to Kroger grocery shopping for you.
Woo, Mr. Johnson, you know how to wine and dine a woman, honey. What? Yes, fantastic. Okay, so Caden's almost a year now. What kind of relationship do you have with him, Mr. Johnson? Have you developed any relationship with this baby?
No, Your Honor.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Have you ever seen him in person?
No, Your Honor.
No.
Not at all. I only seen him on video chat. She was video chatting me at first, and then after she started saying that Kaden need Pampers, Kaden need this, I'm like, well, call his real dad.
I only called you one time, and Kaden didn't need you for that. I was just trying to see what you gonna actually do with her.
Text me, call me. I'm started telling you that I'm in a relationship. Like,
boy, you hit me up first. I ain't never hit you up first for anything. Kaden been good since birth.
You're lying.
So wait a minute, Miss Kirby. You say he is Caden's father.
And he's not mine.
But what I'm saying is, why do you say you're just gonna hit him up to see what he was gonna do? Don't you want him to have a relationship with Caden?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
And so when you got in contact with Mr. Johnson, were you hoping he'd respond?
Yes.
But he didn't.
Yes.
And that's hurtful.
Yes.
So what's it been like raising Caden on your own?
It's been hard, but I managed.
When you say it's been hard, talk to the court about the struggles.
My baby have health issues. He has a G-tube, so we back and forth from different doctors, ENT, G-tube clinic, all that. And he's also albino.
So do you feel like that's one of the reasons Mr. Johnson is not believing?
Yes.
Because of his albinism?
Yes.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I didn't even know that this child was albino. And plus, no one's in my family albino. Has no trait of it.
So you feel like since you've never heard of this, it's not in your family, that Caden couldn't possibly be your child. That's another area of doubt for you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Well, Miss Kirby, does anyone in your family have albinism? Do they?
No, Your Honor.
Any of the other 2 men, do you know if
I'm not sure.
it occurs in their family? You don't know.
Yes.
All right. Well, I wanted to learn more about this, and so I'd like to bring in Dr. Samantha Brown Parks to explain in more detail the medical condition called albinism. Please, Jerome, can you escort Dr. Samantha Brown Parks into the courtroom? Hello, Dr. Brown Parks.
Hi, Judge. How are you?
Thank you for joining us again. I've got more questions for you.
Okay.
Today we're here talking about the paternity of beautiful baby Caden. And his mother, Miss Kirby, says that Caden is albino. He has albinism. Can you tell the court what albinism is exactly?
Sure. So albinism is a very rare disease. Less than 1 in 20,000 children have it. And it is the absence of pigment, both in the hair, skin, and sometimes eyes.
So is albinism passed down? How does it get passed down to a child? Is it through the mother, father? How does that work?
So it's both. Each parent, even though they look phenotypically or to the eyes normally pigmented, carry an abnormal gene. So one abnormal gene from mom, one abnormal gene from dad, come together, make an albino child.
That's fascinating. So, Mr. Johnson, after hearing Dr. Samantha Brown Park's testimony today, does that change your mind? Do you understand with greater certainty what albinism is, and does that change your mind as to whether or not you could be Caden's biological father?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand, but I still deny that he's not my child.
You don't believe he is?
No, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Johnson, what are your hopes today? You say you know Caden's not your biological child, but that's different from what you're hoping. Do you hope he is?
I'm hoping that he's not, Your Honor, so I can move on with my life.
Because you just had a baby.
Yes, Your Honor.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may have another one in about 10 minutes. You know what, Jerome? Let's just go to the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Johnson versus Kirby, when it comes to 11-month-old Caden Kirby, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Johnson, you are the father. Congratulations are in order again. That's your beautiful little boy.
I mean, Your Honor, like I said, I'm the father of this child, and I'm gonna step up.
That is good to know.